All right, the roar of MX1 and we're away. Race number 2. In an exciting part of the championships, Hamish Harwood gets a wonderful start. Cody Cooper's got a good one as well. We'll see Maximus Purvis. He's outside the top 5 at the moment with a little bit of work to do. He has that pivotal 15-point lead in the championship. As it's unfolding nicely for Hamish Harwood and Cody Cooper. This is where they needed to be. They need to make Maximus try and do all the hard work. It's a good start from Kane Lamont as well. He's up there, handed to the pace. We've got it all to look out for here. The MX1 race number 2, a massive 20 minutes plus a lap on the cards here. Hamish Harwood, Cody Cooper. This is exactly what the race fans wanted to see. We had Maximus win here this morning. Can we see what that champion is made of here? And actually that's another good point for your list as well. We've got Maximus, who's a 125 and an MX2 champion. If he can win MX1 today, he'll join Cody and Hamish's list as well. So that could be something special to look out for. But we've got a long way to go. We've still got this one here. We've got one more this afternoon, and then we've got the 2 tomorrow. So there's plenty of chances to score points left in MX1. And the man who needs them more than anything, Hamish Harwood. He's now 3rd in the championship, and he is flying on that CML KTM. The defending New Zealand MX1 motocross champion, and ever since Clutha, it's been Maximus Purvis starting to take the fight to Hamish. We've got Coops there. He's a 9-time MX1 champion, and he's certainly well within striking distance of this overall as well. So it's a lot to look out for, and Hamish leading Cody at the moment. We've got a good charge from Maximus trying to get himself up into 3rd place. Can't quite get around Hayden Smith. So Hayden, he got his first podium MX1 racing. That's a good moment for him, and all on that 300cc 2-stroke. So he'd have to go back a long time before a 2-stroke was on the podium in MX1 glory. So well done to Hayden Smith. As Maximus goes around the outside of him, so we've got the change. Now we've got the 1, 2, 3 that we've been looking out for all summer. And then go back to Hayden, and Kane is in 5th place. Michael Kratzer there and behind them, and then look out for BG Brad Groombridge. So our top 7 from race number 1 is rinse and repeat, but they're in a different order now. We've got a massive 17.5 minutes still remaining, and right now Hamish Harwood exactly where he wants to be. He'll be loving it at the moment. Cody Cooper, who just come from that amazing MX2 performance where he charged through the pack and got on the podium in the end. He'll be full of confidence and speed out there at the moment. So Hamish, Cody and Maximus, that is your top 3, with Hayden Smith there in a quality 4th place at the moment. So this is going to be good. The top 3 are now at the top, and we're going to go and see how this next 17 minutes plus a lap unfolds.
All right, here we are, final race, of course, of round number 2 here today, with a further 1 round to come up, but no break in between this time, folks. So we'll go straight into it with the 125s up next. So we won't get a Hamish Harwood on the podium. He'll be ready to literally go from one moto to the next. But this last and exciting round will be effectively, of course, the penultimate round we're having today, with only 2 to go tomorrow. We're going to be in for an action-packed day. We repeat it all, of course. It's not actually a 2-day event. So normally with a 2-day event, of course, you qualify, you race for a day, and then you come back and race tomorrow. No, we're going to come back and start all over again, because put the good luck and the bad luck aside, that somebody that wasn't quite perfect today has got another whole chance to do tomorrow. So if you qualified 15th today, it might be 10th or 7th tomorrow. So if we start the whole day off again with all of that practice and qualifying, because it is effectively a separate event. Today is the day that should have been last Sunday, should have been in the beautiful Hawke's Bay, but unfortunately Cyclone Gabrielle smashed that place to bits and left us with this as the alternative. And congratulations to MNZ, our Commissioner Lindsay, and Bevan and the team at Taupo for quickly making the decision. We can save it, we can save the championship, we can keep it around, we can come to Taupo and put together what we're calling the double header this weekend, with rounds 3 and rounds 4 of our national championship. Already talk as to whether this format will work, and we'd love your feedback afterwards, and talk to Lindsay, I'm sure, and just say what you think of the idea. Maybe it's something we can grow on next year. The tentative situation, of course, we've got 4 different clubs and 4 different venues. Hey, if we can put some double headers together with next year as well, maybe we can get some more rounds in. But we've got a lot of laid in front of us. Of course, those clubs that put in for it, including Tauranga, Taranaki, Pukekohe, and Hawke's Bay, in fact, probably because they missed out on this year, might be another one to add it. But anyway, we've got other good clubs that can help grow our sport as we continue to use our great venues around the country. All right, Hamish Howard, Maximus Purvis and Cody Cooper. We're back to the racing here at the moment. They are the top trio, as Brad said. We've got the three of them in order at this stage. Now just a matter of looking out for that margin. We've got to close that margin. Man, oh man, I'll tell you what, Hamish got such an incredible launch off that one. He's made a big move, 7.6 seconds. That is mega. Because then, in fact, with Maximus up there into that second, so he's made the overtaking, and that's put Cody back to third. But, Hamish needs to. He's seen what happened when he allowed, when Cole was allowed to get away off the line in the 125. He knew what it was like. So if he can be that Cole Davies of the 125 class and break clear, the others will be fighting amongst themselves, Brad, and it'll mean that he can just, well, not quite cruise, but give it with more ease to be watching the racing unfold in front of him. Look at this for climatic racing. Man, oh man, we are going for it here at the moment. Bring it on with Fox, Pirelli and Aon. We're at home with Penny Holmes and our fantastic MX1 creme de la creme of racing. And there it is, the famous Energy Centre Point. Now, Yamalube Centre Point. I never get rid of the name Centre Point because that was the business that Mighty Malcolm was, the super sponsor of this club. He named it Jub. It's iconic to it. The business might have long gone and been changed into what I think it's BP Tauhara these days, but we'll never forget Energy Centre Point. And it long stands as the name of that memorable jump as we watch these awesome riders. And Hamish Harwood, D for dominating, Brad.
Absolutely, this is a big statement to make. He's got a massive advantage over Maximus, who's got himself in a second, so he got through on Coops. Coops making a bit of a mistake on that lap around, so he's now got a bit of work to do. But it's Maximus, he's got the lead in the championship, so he's the one that now has to just keep his head nice and still, nice and straight, and he's nursed that 15-point lead in the championship. But like we touched on at the start of this one, there's still this one and the one this afternoon, and there's still two more tomorrow, so there's still a massive 100 points up for grabs in this championship. It is not done for at all, and Hamish Harwood, he's making his presence found out there on the CML KTM. He's absolutely fine. Let's see if we can have a look at some split times here as Maximus comes through. And that's 8.5 seconds, so that is quite a telling margin, and I think you'd have to go back a long time in MX1 racing to see anyone have an 8.5 second lead. So well done, Hamish Harwood. He's got the foot down here at the moment. He is flying. Maximus Purvis second place. Cody Cooper, who's another further 3.8 seconds back in third place. And then go back to Hayden Smith, won that CML Gas Racing Machine. We'll go fifth for Kane Lamont. Sixth there for Brad Groombridge, so go BG. And what a fabulous performance on that Kia Trailers White Line Kawasaki. That's him up inside that top six. Michael Kratzer, our Austrian MX champion, he is in seventh place on the Modal Best Build Honda with Sam Cuthbertson in eighth. Madison Ladder continues his top 10 run. He's in ninth place ahead of Jared Guthrie. What a performance. Jared Guthrie running out our top 10 at the moment. So this is fabulous MX1 racing. And Hamish Harwood, he's come to play here in race number 2 as this championship starts to get on the line. Now this is when you're going to see the real Hamish Harwood come out and play.
Well, remember, of course, in that last race, Brad, he had the collision with Maximus, went down. He was the one that came off worst, finished up back in 7th place, so he's been on the back foot since then. He then went to the next 125 race, and he had to double over and allow Cole Davies to take the cream, and it looked as if he was on the back foot at that point, of course, but here he is now to come out and say, I can do it, I own it, I want it, I'm hungrier than anybody else. I proved it at Belclute. I won 2 out of the 3 there. Had a bit of a hiccup then at round 2 at Rotorua, and then again for this first race today. But look at this performance. It is striking. That's why he's got a number 1 on his bike, folks. He is the reigning champion. As the supporters' flags start to come out here, 153 on the numbers. They get waved. There it is. It's 153 on his 125, but it's number 1 as the reigning champion on this one. Didn't come here with the red plate. Remembering he had the red plate from round number 1. Didn't have it for at the end of round 2. Will he have it at the end of round 3? He's going to wear the red plates in tomorrow. Who's brought their red plates with them, ready to change? Because of course we haven't got a week or a fortnight or a month in between the rounds like we've just had. We've got an overnight before we come to our feature finale with 2 races, just 2 tomorrow for every class on our program. Bring it on with some more great magic. A reminder of that program change to what has been listed in the program, that the MX 125 are the first race up tomorrow. If you go to the Sunday program, page 6 of your overall program, it shows YZ65 Cup out first. They are in fact third, so it will be MX 125 first for practice and qualifying here tomorrow. The race order remains the same, it's just the practice qualifying order that is different. So early start again tomorrow, folks. Riders briefing from 7:20. Be on, be dialed, and be excited because we've got a finale on our hands. But Brad, at the moment, how can you compare those races at Rotorua to a one already today? This is the Hamish Harwood we saw at the Waikato Champs. This is a man we've seen going to the other big events on the moto scene, and look at him, absolutely dominating. How does that happen?
Oh, it's just a true class of the man. This is an absolute clinic he's putting on. If you just watch, he's just one of the most amazing, technically sound riders on a motocross bike in New Zealand motocross. So look at him go. And Hamish Harwood flying at the moment. So he ticks off that little back section. And on the way to centre point, absolutely flying. Maximus Purvis, all he can do is watch in the distance because Hamish Harwood is flying. Cody Cooper there. He was second for the early part of this race. He's back now in third place. He's still second in that championship. But with Hamish Harwood out in front, that could really spice these points up as well. We could have a real showdown on our hands come tomorrow afternoon. You're going to have to be here. If you're on the fence about whether you were coming tomorrow, I think we've just answered the question here. Was Hamish Harwood has just put his name well and truly back in the ring. Unfortunately, that seventh placing here this morning means there's a mountain decline for him, but this is exactly what he needs to do. Got the good start, he's cleared out, and just going to manage this race nicely here. So with still 9 minutes to go, anything can happen, but Hamish Harwood certainly putting his best foot forward right here.
Man, how vitals have the start been this year? Not to say that they've even been any more vital in other years, but because of the procession, as I've sometimes called it, that we've seen in the past, it's sort of people have just slotted into a place, but no way has that been the case this year. Look at the ride from this man, absolutely dominated. And I actually thought before that he'd had a setback with his crash, and then went to only get the second place in the 125 race. I thought that he was sort of, not quite say conceding, but to realise that, hey, maybe we're going to let this one go. But when I interviewed him and to hear the intelligence of his comment, that is the fact that he knew that Cole had the big break. So why go and bust a boiler to try and get something that was not practical to achieve? So congratulations, I think it's a fantastic. What's that done to him? It's brought him out in this MX1 class, more focused, more refreshed, more fighting than ever before, and he's laying it out there for an incredible moto. So absolutely dominant from the number one, the reigning champion, the Mr. Hamish Harwood show. And he's got some work to do in the points overall. In winning this, it has got to be such a positive step for him. Can he win the next one and the two tomorrow? He will need every one of those races to get back to being number one NZ and keeping that number on his bike. But bring it on, more of the updates that we've got in front of us. This will be exceptional, but all on for Hamish. And a quick run through mighty Maximus and Cody there for that third place to go to Hayden, Brad, Kane and Michael. Mr. Michael Kratzer out there at the moment, the enjoyable Austrian that's been with us here in New Zealand motocross, and we wish him all the very best and hope that he's had something to show for his good time over here. Thank you to Honda, because you've certainly come on to a winner there, very popular with his updates and autographs and chats with people. So well done to Michael. He's the letter M out there, our effectively only international in our male classes outside of our Aussie girls in the women's class. But well done, and honour to have somebody like him with us. Madison Ladder up there for an 8th. Toby Winiata, he's cracked the top 10. He's got in front of Jared Guthrie. Hey, to Madison Ladder and then go Toby Winiata. You would not have put those two riders in the same breath before, Brad. This man, Toby Winiata, he's making some serious moves. This is great moto from young Toby.
That's fabulous, yeah. Now that whole top 10 is really, if you see their lap times, they're not too far off the top end. So just the depth of MX1 racing, fabulous. And then even outside the top 10, Ethan Waters, Bradley Watling, Haley Wilkinson, Max Singleton, Nick Darcy, Josh Drew, Caleb Lipsey, and Jane McAloon, Liam Hutton, just all the way down to 19th. So some fabulous names and some depth and talent all on display here. But the one at the top, Hamish Harwood, ticks off yet another lap. 6.5 minutes remaining in this one here. It just continues to stretch out that lead every lap he goes around. We've got Maximus there on the 44 in second place, but you can see the body language of Maximus Purvis. He knows that this job from Hamish Harwood's just going to be too hard for him to reel him in. So you can see Maximus just settling into a little race pace. He's still lapping in those 2:15s, but he's well aware of the dominance of Hamish Harwood here. Here's Coops coming through. So that's a third for Cody Cooper. Brad Groombridge and Hayden Smith are right there. So look out if Coops can't afford to relax. He's got a hard-charging Brad Groombridge and Hayden Smith right in behind him. So the podium fight is well and truly on. There's only 1.3 seconds between third and fifth place on the racetrack. We've got Hayden Smith charging hard. He had his first podium in MX1 Glory here this morning, so he'll be loving it, and he'll be keen to repeat that dose here. Kane Lamont on that beautiful white pink ribbon breast cancer supported machine. So look out for Tuffy doing his bit and looking for donations for the New Zealand Breast Cancer Foundation, and go and have a look and catch up with Team 94 on that Troy Lee Honda. Fabulous to see Kane Lamont and he's in the top 6 at the moment. Then we go back to Michael Kratzer, still in 7th place, Michael Madison Letter and Toby Winiata. Then we go in 9th place, 10th Jared Guthrie, 11th for Ethan Waters, then go to Bradley Walling on the bike talk gas with Hayden Wilkinson, Max Singleton and Nick Darcy all the way down to 15th place in MX1. It's been a pretty spectacular. We have an absolute breathtaking round number 2 at Rotorua Motocross Park, some of the best racing we've seen in New Zealand shores, and we're in for a real treat here this weekend as well. Hamish Harwood continues to dominate race number 2 here. Maximus Purvis, our series leader. He's got the 15-point lead ahead of Cody Cooper, which he will extend out even further. But now Hamish is going to capitalise on some more points here, and this fight's going to go on into the very late part of this championship. You'd have to think, I think we're going to need every single race on this calendar to find out our MX1 champion for 23. It's going to be spectacular, and it's going to be right here tomorrow.
Oh wow, how climatic could it be? But the contrast of the last 2 races of this man is what blowing me away. First of all, to get a 7th place and then a second. A second in a class that he'd never lost before, 7th in a class that he'd never been outside the podium. So that is just a major setback for the man. But he comes out fired up and shows us why he's got a number 1 plate on his bike. He's incredible. He's Hamish Harwood, formerly out of Taka in the beautiful Golden Bay, but now, of course, out of Auckland. Has his lovely family here to support him, and a shout out to all of you folks. You've been an impressive fan club over the years. I didn't tell too much of a story. 2 years ago here, I presented him with his start block back again. Now, that's a long story. Cleaning up at Woodville many years ago, and there was the kids that come up to the line and they were starting a race often bring their little start blocks with them. There was a start block left behind, and it had his name on it, Hamish Harwood, number 800. That was his racing number. He rode the little Murray Thorn Suzuki RM85, and he was too short for the bike to start. And the block was actually a carpenter's nail box. And if you know that before the days of nail guns, when the carpenters bought nails, they bought them in a heavy, big 10 kg box. And it was one of those boxes that had been painted in red of all colours when he had a yellow bike, but that didn't matter. And in a felt tip pen, his name and his number on the side of it. And when I was cleaning up, I thought, I'll take that one away. And rather than throw it in the rubbish, I thought, one day I might be able to just give it back to him. And I put it in my own shed and literally forgot about it. And then when I was having a clean up, and that was probably more than 10 years after it, more than 10 years, closer to 15. I then said, hey, I want to give it back to the man, and we presented it to him at the prize giving 2 years ago. So just the stories that we remember about a cool kid, and like the Josh Copman story that I love to tell, Hamish was not a champion junior rider. So all of you riders that are today doing junior motocross and you think, am I going to be there one day? You need to talk to Josh Copman, you need to talk to Hamish Harwood, because you did not have to be a champion junior motocrosser to be a champion senior motocrosser, and Josh and Hamish have proved that beyond doubt. So bring it on with Hamish Harwood, a super guy, a super rider, a super gentleman, and an all-round good guy in our sport. Down at Brad with a 7th and a 2nd, but not beaten. He is back for 1st and on his way back for that championship. Can he come back from here? You know amongst the friends we've been talking to who's got their money on Maximus, who's got their money on Cody, and who's got their money on Hamish, and we're going to be down for a nail-biter, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be all on. We've only got 2 minutes left in this one here, so the white flag will probably come out next time around for Hamish Harwood. So this has been a scintillating performance. He's got a 14-second gap back to Maximus Purvis, and then the real excitement is going on in behind him, because we've got Brad Groombridge now ahead of Cody Cooper. So we've got Brad Groombridge in line for his first MX1 podium, as he is now up into 3rd place. Cody Cooper, who desperately needs to try and get as many championship points as he can. He's got that fight with Maximus Purvis going on, and he's now slipped outside the podium, and he's going to grab, Hayden Smith's going to potentially grab it on the spot off him as well. So Cody Cooper, not the Coops we're used to seeing in this championship. He's in 4th and he's in trouble. He could be losing another position as well, so a bit more drama as we've got a minute left on the clock. Hamish Harwood, massive advantage in this one here. Maximus Purvis comfy in 2nd, and now Brad Groombridge in line for his first trip to the podium. This is exciting, and not what the doctor ordered for Cody Cooper.
Oh wow, oh wow. Well, it wasn't going to be one lot of dramas of a negative turning into a positive in the case of Hamish. It's now a positive turning into a negative for Cody Cooper after his blitzing performances in the MX2 lineup today. So this is why we said it's no procession this year. It's no foregone conclusion. Every race a result of their own, and one that's bringing back the best of them. So Keep look out in the update at the moment. So there's that big change at the moment. The local star, Mr. B Star, Mr. Brad Groombridge fighting back. Come on, the Groombridge Refrigeration white line man there out there on the Kawasaki KX450 in incredible form. You'll see him with a big 338 on the back of his race shirt. He's a commentator's dream for the number on the back of the shirt. And the white line Kawasaki tells the story of a winning bike with a Taupo winning rider on board. So where's that BG fan club out there? Come on, Brad Groombridge going for it at the moment. Where are you, Stu? I can't hear you. I should hear you. Of course, Super Dad himself, a life member of the club, former president, all-round lovely family that's had a huge amount to do with this club over the years. And as I mentioned before, Brad, probably the second most travelled rider around Digger McEwen Park behind the great Darren Capel. So bring it on. Maybe you can come home for the Taupo crowd here today. Brad, here we go. One to go.
Yeah, white flag now. Hamish Harwood grabs that. It's got 1 lap to go. He's got a decent buffer back to Maximus Purvis. So that surely you'd have to think would be the order they finish in 1 and 2. It's third place we're looking out for because BG's got it just here at the moment. And then go back to Coops, who's side by side with Hayden Smith. Hayden's going to sneak up into 4th place, so that's going to take Coops back to 5th now. And don't rule out Caleb Lamont, who's riding behind Coops as well. So Coops in big trouble, and he's falling down the leaderboard here as we see BG on that white line Kawasaki. He ticks off 1 more lap. He's got 1 to hang on. Can he make his first trip to the podium? We're going to find out in a lap's time. It's pretty much a procession out in front. Hamish Harwood, he's come and played here. He's dominated this one so far. He's got half a lap to go to hang on. Maximus Purvis, he will hang on to the red plate, and he will go into the final race today. Still remaining your points leader, but this is going to be a massive confidence boost for Hamish Harwood and that CML KTM race team, who have now shown how fast Hamish Harwood really is. And the other big drama in this one here is we've got Cody Cooper now for the first time off the podium. He's been on the podium every other outing here in MX1 Racing. So for him now to have slipped outside the top 4, a bit of drama, and Kay Lamont can now see that 121 in front of him, so he'll be looking to try and capitalise on 1 more championship point if he can get ahead of him. It's all to play for here for those minor positions, but it's going to be true elation. We're not going to catch up with him on the podium. He's going to run straight to the start line. He's got their 125 race next, but it's going to still feel mighty good for this man here on the number 1. The CML KTM race team will be loving it. They've been due a bit of luck here. That's a result in Rotorua that was mid-pack for Hamish. That was the one that gave Maximus the lead in the championship. Then to come here today, he started the day with a 7th. And then also, like Neil touched on, couldn't quite keep his streak alive in the 125 racing. So it appeared at lunchtime today that Hamish Harwood was well on the back foot here, but he has responded big time. And this is going to feel something special. So the number 1, the defending MX1 champion, now has turned up to play and thrown another spanner in the works of this MX1 championship, because he is going to grab the checkered flag and another race win. He is going to love that. So Hamish Harwood takes that one here, the maximum 25 points. Maximus Purvis, he's over the dam jump now. He's only a couple of corners away. He will take 2nd placing and hang on to that points lead. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see what unfolds here in the 3rd and final race of round number 3 later on today. That'll be the final race on the program, so do stick around for that one there. As we see the 44 Maximus, he's going to come through and round off the podium. Here is the 338, so BG Brad Groombridge, what a performance that is, and that's his first podium trip for this campaign. Hayden Smith's going to come home in 4th place there. And there is Kay Lamont. Kay Lamont's going to get up into 5th place, and that means Coops down in 6th place. So not sure what's happened to Coops there, but fell right off the pace in this one here. So look out for that. But it's going to be a pretty cool podium. We're going to catch up with Maximus and BG Brad Groombridge. Hamish Harwood, he's got that MX125 race to quickly run off too, so we won't be able to catch up with him. But I can tell you that smile will be from ear to ear inside that Fox helmet of his. So look out for that one there. We're going to cross down to Neil, who is going to be pretty excited to catch up with BG for the first time and catch up with our points leader and red plate holder, Maximus Purvis.
Well, what happened to that man, Hamish Harwood, from 0 to hero? What happened to that man, Cody Cooper? He was from hero to 0. So, man, oh man, we have seen two massive extremes of what has just gone on. We don't have Hamish up here. We know he's got literally out of the next moto. Remember, of course, we had our lunch break between rounds 1 and round 2, but between 2 and 3 here this afternoon, there is no break, so they'll be straight back into it. So we'll just take these guys and get the best that we can do from them up here at the moment. So, wow, what something else unbelievable. Max has had all the sense in the world. That second place was all he needed to do. Remembering, he's over 20 points in front, over 20 in front. So doing what he's doing now is doing well. Second is fine. He could be second all weekend. There's only now 4 more races, and he'd only lose 12 points on that one. So from where he is at the moment is just incredible. But looking forward to getting BG, our man, up here. Come on, Taupo. Come on, Taupo. Are you warming to it? Are we? What? Let's hear it. Number 3, Mr. Brad Groombridge. Here, the cheers out there, the smile on his face, the sweat is pumping, and looking pretty darn good. BG, 19 kilos you've thrown away there. What a difference a pie or two a day makes, eh?
Oh yeah, doesn't it, Neil? Eh? We've been working pretty hard, so.
Congratulations, mate. This is so good. Hey, people don't realise you're doing a 50-hour week for Groombridge Refrigeration as well. You're knocking it in. You're doing the training. You're doing the hard yards. You're back here to get the reward for it. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, Neil. I don't know if I'd call it a 50-hour week, but maybe 40. We're pushing 40, but no, it feels good to be back up here for a change.
Yeah, congratulations. What a cool result. And well done to second place, Maximus Purvis. Well done to Max. A fantastic result. And Maxis, mate, you had all the sense in the world. You know, with your points lead, second was good enough?
Yeah, got off to a bit of a bad start and got myself to second, and by then Harwood had got a good gap, so I just settled in and just cruised around.
All right, mate, for both of you dudes, this is your home turf. What do you think of it today?
It's definitely pretty rough now, but nah, it's not too bad. Got some good lines here and there. Just got to keep searching for some new, smoother ones anyway.
Indeed. What's the tactic for the next one? You got one more, mate?
Just get a good start and then see what happens from there. Try lead it from the front, I suppose.
Good. And what about a round of applause for Hamish, who would be standing in the middle, and we understand completely in his professionalism why he's not standing there at the moment. What an awesome MX1 podium here today, folks, so well done. BG back in Taupo in third place. Maximus lives just down the road, back in second, and for Hamish a very good first place. Just a quick few seconds before we ignite into light with our 125 racing again. Let's get into it, folks. The third and final round coming courtesy of Penny Homes. Homes to be admired, building more homes in Taupo in the last 30 years than any other home builder. And of course, our great friends at Aon, Pirelli and Fox, bringing you #1 products with your #1 service. Thank you, guys. We're back shortly. Bring it on. More Mighty MX here with Ctas and all our cool sponsors. Look at the pats on the back from those boys. They've got massive respect for each other, and so they should do. We're loving it. Hope you are as well. More MX coming next.